Previously, we have set up the necessary styles to facilitate the structure of an experimental report. Note that if one or more of the styles are missing from your styles gallery, you can use the create a style function to create a style, for example, something like a caption. Secondly, you will have noticed that the paper size on my template was accidentally set to letters. So if that was applicable to you as well, you can press Ctrl A and ensure that everything is selected and set to an A4 style. We're just going to make sure that all the pages are still okay. In addition to the styles gallery, we can also add building blocks to the equation gallery, which is especially handy if you need to number equations. So I'm just going to insert a 3-column table and proceed as follows. Insert an equation. Click on this. References. Insert a caption. Now we're going to take this number, paste it there. We can then ensure that the columns are the same width. And remove the grid lines. Great. We can now save this selection to the equation gallery. And if we ever need it, there we go. You can now save this Word template as a document that you can copy and paste whenever you need it, or you can make it a built-in template, a custom one for Word. To do this, go to Save As, give it a name such as and then save it as a .x file. Now, when you open up a new document, under Design, you should see this style set available. If you click it, all of the necessary styles will still be available. Back to our Word template file, I'm just going to save it as a new name. Right there. So this is the name of the example document that we will be recreating. We can change this back to a title. and ensure the same thing over here. If you need to reapply formatting, for example, a specific style, you can use the Format Painter brush. If you click it once, the style will be applied once, but if you double click it, it will remain on the paintbrush. So now we can paint the necessary style on it. And finally here, paste it. If you click it once, it should go back here. We can now paste in the abstract and format it as normal. You will notice that when you are pasting from LaTeX, ligatures such as two F's next to each other are not characters that are available in Word, so you'll have to retype them. To open up an equation editor, press Alt equals. We can use the same shortcuts as in LaTeX. Row, V, D, mu. Okay. For this document, we can delete the elements that we won't be needing. That'll include the nomenclature list, the experimental section, the conclusions, and the appendices. Now that the text has been brought in, we can add in all of the necessary equations. So, for example, Q divided by A Remember, dimensionless constants are written in a Roman type. Also note that you don't want to include two equations directly beneath each other. Typically, unless it's a system of equations that you're modeling. Right, now we can add in the necessary cross-references. So instead of saying equation 1, under references, select insert caption, insert cross-reference, then go to equation. We're going to write that option and then delete the brackets. Also remember that your symbols must be in the mathematical style. We can now insert a table. Go to your Excel file, press Ctrl A, and ensure that your headings are also selected, and paste it into your document. We can now format it. Auto fit the content. We will unbold the headers, but ensure that the symbols are still in italics because they are mathematical symbols. If you need to add in subscript, you can use, or superscript, you can use these buttons. Right. Now let's add the rules. To create a thicker border, select a thicker border style. Then you can draw it on, like so, or simply select the row again and apply it as such. We can now add in a caption. Select table. There we go. The short caption is centered, but if the caption is very long, you will need to justify it at the colon. Let's look at an example. We can cut the caption and again insert a table. There we go, nice and aligned. If these zeros weren't significant zeros, and there were only 4 significant digits, you may want to align the values by the decimal place. To do this, first select the data and left align it. Then double-click in the ruler above. You should then see a tabs menu open up. Ensure that the alignment is decimal and the leader is 1, none. A tiny marker will appear here that you can move around as you please. Right. Alright, let's add a figure. To do this, add an extra pulcra, center it. If you have the image saved as a picture, note that the font size is fixed in relation to the figure size. So you may want to save your figure with a large enough font beforehand. Alternatively, you can paste directly from Excel. Again, we can insert a caption. Now that we've inserted cross-references, these numbers can be updated if extra figures are added. Let me show you how to add 2 subplots. I'm going to take this figure and just crop it a little bit. And now I'm going to decrease the width to about 8.3 centimeters. Again, you'll notice the importance of specifying the font beforehand. Can remove the borders, add an A and a B. I'll center them, remove a space after the paragraphs. If you now click on this and select Update Field, it will update to the right figure. When we press Control click, it will also take us there. Ensure that there are no single pilcrows in the document. Don't use them for spacing, rather use the line spacing commands. Now we can add in a reference. There are two ways to do this. Firstly, using Word's built-in citation manager, or secondly, using a reference manager plugin like Mendeley. Over here, it says Welty, Roller and Foster 2015, page number 204. In the first case, you would insert the citation as follows. Press Insert Citation, add new source, and then type in the necessary fields. I've done one for you already to show you the fields that you need to type in. Specifically, remember to use semicolons to separate the different authors. We can change the style to a Harvard style and then insert the citation. Because the author is part of the sentence, we want to move the brackets and include a page number because it is a book. To do this, we can edit the citation to add in a page number. Then we can convert it to static text. However, note that you'll have to add the et al. Yourself. Then we can delete that. To add in a reference section, you can click on this one. Then delete the title. Alternatively, you can use a citation manager like Mendeley. You can type this entry in manually by ensuring that it is the book type with the proper title, the necessary authors, the year, the city, the edition, and the publisher. We can now insert the citation by searching for the author. And again, we can edit it. Double-click on the author in this menu and add in the page number. Unfortunately, again, we will have to edit the brackets manually. Keep the citation edit? Yes, keep the manual edit. Side note, to get to the reference section easier, we can add in the navigation pane. Scroll down here. Back under references, we can insert bibliography and it'll show as such. On a side note, we can also change the setting to highlight an entirety of a word. For example, if you only want to select a portion of a word, you can change this option under Options, Advanced. When selecting, automatically select entire word. There we go. On a final note, please remember to add back in the necessary section break after the table of contents, as we deleted it with the nomenclature list. And remember, if you're using units, to include a non-breaking space so that they don't fall over without the number. So let's say, for example, 0176 degrees Celsius. If we move this to the edge of the line, then the unit falls over. To prevent that from happening, add a non-breaking space. Press Shift Control Space. It'll look just like a degree Celsius, but if you turn off the Pilcrow, there you go. and they stay together.